All right, good morning. It's February 11th and we're at a solid waste board meeting and yeah, we'll get started. We have minutes, Helen? We do have minutes. Thanks, sir. It's one set of minutes for January 14th of 2025. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Very good. All right, Mike, what have you been up to?
Snow.
Snow?
Up to my
No,
knees.
snow.
No, it's not been bad. Just like last week was like 5 days last week. But anyways, no injuries. That's good.
Mhm.
Keeping the sites clear so that we don't have any slips. Nobody's been running into anybody, no other vehicles, so it's been good. Permits have been doing really well. I mean, people have been there only been a few.
Mhm.
I've been like 5, I think, in total. People that get mad, all the rest are really good about it, that I know of. I talked to yesterday after you talked to him.
Okay,
Um,
I'm trying to think what his name is.
yeah, I'm trying to too now.
Yeah,
I remembered it this morning.
I'll think of it
I
when I
think I
quit
better take
thinking
some
about it.
Prevagen.
Yeah, up your end of the woods there.
Yeah, I talked to him and he was, by the time I got done talking to him, he wants to come to the community hall when we have our meeting.
Okay,
He says, after that, he goes, he understands why we're having to charge and
yeah,
we're kind of behind the 8 ball.
Mark.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So he understands, so I'll try to remember to invite him when we have our meeting down in Jeff City if we do rates and stuff.
What would it cost us to send 2 cards instead of 1 to each?
Probably should.
Cause that's what he.
I know, and I have probably a half dozen to a dozen people that ask that too.
Oh, okay.
And, so I mean, that's where, I mean, right now, what it's doing is it's helping, the second permit is actually, with the amount of them, is actually helping pay for our first permit too.
Oh, okay.
Cause it
$5
costs,
a permit,
yeah, so right now it's $5 a permit. It's costing us pretty close to right around $253 with all the mailing and everything.
Okay.
And the labor and all that. So we're making about $2 a permit on our permits. And that's paying for our original permit that we're
Mhm.
sending out. So that's kind of helping on my budget.
A little bit of revenue there.
Yeah. And that's helping my budget quite a bit, actually. So. 'Cause it costs quite a bit to get those things out.
And how long? It's good till 2027 anyway, right?
Yeah, it's 3-year permit.
No offense, but $5.
Yeah. So,
That's something we can talk about between now and the expiration of those permits. is
yeah, well, we
if
can
raise
also,
our rates.
we raise our rates, we can talk about, up and maybe not doing quarter load, construction waste. We do a half load of construction waste. We get a give and take a little bit, but we raise it enough to accommodate all that.
Yeah, the losses we take from.
Yeah, and then maybe charge for certain items that we normally don't charge for, that I think we get the most beat up about as couches and
Mhm.
chairs. Cause you got one guy sitting here dumping a couch and chairs, not having to pay, one guy over here that's paying for construction waste and they get mad.
Maybe a class on what construction waste is.
Yeah,
My point about that is,
Yeah.
when I didn't run for sheriff again, I cut up all of my signs, which
Yeah.
were particle board or plywood, and threw them in the dump, and they told me it was construction waste. I had to
Yep.
pay $10.
yeah,
Which I paid it, but
yeah, a lot of it's on our list. We have a list of items. So they kind of fall, and particle board is one of them on our, I think, on our list,
Mhm.
so. And
well, I
plywood
could see
too.
that if it was construction.
You're actually constructing, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well, they
deconstructing
can't
something.
they can't tell though either, cause they don't know somebody stripped off stuff
Yeah,
from a
I get it.
house, yeah,
I paid it, I was just.
yeah. That's the only thing that they don't know, is where it came from.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Our rates are pretty much for the garbage bag you pull out of your garbage can.
Yeah.
Everything else should be charged because that's what our rates are
Yep.
based on.
And if we were able to charge a little bit more, then we wouldn't have to
Yeah,
charge people for
Right.
quarter loads, we'd be charging people for half loads and more, half cubic yards.
There's no way to do it fair without scales. I mean, you got
No.
people that bring garbage in every week and you got people that bring it in once a month.
Or, yeah, or you're measuring every load. I mean, everything, you take the solid waste assessment fee completely off. And you just measure, or you leave it on and you measure every load until they hit their allotted amount. And then every time they get charged, you have to have a whole computer system to keep track of that logging
And
system.
scales going in, or however
Yeah.
you figure it out, but.
They do that in some of the outlying sites in Helena and Lewis and Clark. They measure every single load.
Hmm.
And then they log it in, and then when they exceed their allotted amount of poundage for the year, then they pay from that point on, which would, I don't know if I would want to go that direction, because you'd have a line going all the way out Montana City up to Papa Ray's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It would-
that'd be tough.
Yeah,
I think the system we have works good. It's just, I think it does need to be
there's a lot of flaws in the system
changed.
that were designed way back in the day when they did it. And I mean, and a lot of counties are struggling with that. I think that's what the counties are struggling the most with. So I think if you raise the rate, we raise the rates, and we talk about how to do it so that we're not, we charge maybe for certain things, and we raise it so that the construction waste, and then we do a slight increase to cover everything, and then do maybe another 3% in 2 years or 3 years, so that you're covering more inflation rates. And then look at that every 3 years, you have it in your policy to look at an inflation rate, if you need to raise for inflation.
Would it be feasible on their website itself for solid waste to put on there the things that folks can be charged for?
It's on there.
Was it on there?
Mhm.
Yeah, seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, boy, down, tell how many people look at the website then.
Yeah, it's on there. So we haven't had any oil because it's been so cold. I don't think anybody can drain their oil.
Not unless it's parked inside somewhere.
Yeah. Helena Recycling, we didn't do much recycling at all either last month, and it's always like that after the holidays over for January. We only did 6.34 tons of cardboard. Nothing in paper, aluminum, or anything.
Go
Brett?
back up to your steel quotes. Did you skip over that one, Mike?
I'm gonna come back. Oh,
Oh,
you
you're
wanna,
gonna come back
you
to
wanna,
that?
you wanna do steel coats?
No,
Okay.
whenever you're.
Oh, no, let's do it. So steel quotes. I got a call about steel quotes, and it went up. And so I got a steel,
It's gonna go way up with the tariffs coming on.
probably.
Mhm.
Well, they called me and told me that steel quotes went up. East Ridge gave me a bid for 126 a ton. It's been running 50 something a ton.
Yeah,
And
that's East Ridge.
East Ridge, yes,
Where, is that the Butte one or?
that's the Butte one. Steve Turk in Butte. And then we have Eric Kelly from Pacific Steel, and it was 121 a ton. They gave me vote on.
121.
And we've used both of them before, so they're both pretty competent.
We've got up to like 150 bucks a ton. haven't
Yeah, we have. Should we wait?
I don't know, with this tariff thing coming up, I think steel's gonna be pretty good, but it just depends on how much room you've got out there, I guess. I don't wanna have a big mess just because we're waiting for prices.
I have room. I had to make accommodations in Whitehall. I moved all the refrigerators around to a different spot. We cleared a spot. We don't have a lot of room for refrigerators. We'd have to clear out more area for fridges.
How often do we recycle these piles, like twice, or once every 2 years?
Once every year.
Every
I've
year?
been,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we've been doing it once a year. I usually do it right about now or earlier. And then we're cleared by spring, because we're in the spring, we get hit usually right around March, April, people start clearing out their properties, and then we just get slammed with steel. Right now, people aren't bringing much in, so this is a good time to clean up the sites.
They
and-
don't know their fridge quit.
Yeah, they don't know that, they don't need, everything's frozen inside of it. But the steel, we really started getting hit pretty hard with it about March, April-ish,
Okay,
so.
so that's up to you. I mean, if you wanna wait a little closer to that time where you're gonna get hit, I don't wanna make a mess for you, just trying to wait for a few
Nope.
bucks on price.
I don't have a mess out there, so we're just pile it up and to keep crushing it and pile it up higher and higher. Boulder has plenty of room. It just, you don't wanna wait until July and August,
Right,
because then we'll have too much.
Yeah, you might check back with these guys in a few weeks and say, has it changed any, or,
Okay,
you know, if it's kind of leveled out, then that's probably as good as you're gonna do for a while.
they can't crush in this weather anyways.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So, right now, they're, right now, well, the weather looks like it's gonna get warmed up, but they're still probably March before they'd even get in here.
Yeah.
March looking like the forties.
Yeah, I know, in the next week,
Yeah.
yeah. So, that wet snow coming back in. So, yeah, I can wait. I just wanted to let you know what was going on. We can just wait I'll give them a call and wait another month.
Yeah, to see what it does.
Yeah, there's no
If it
problem.
starts going down, you can pick me in the butt.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna though.
I don't think it's gonna either, especially after yesterday when they did the tariffs. I didn't know that was gonna happen until yesterday. Yeah, you're right. Now cardboard will probably drop off the face of the earth again. And there's no brush coming in really. We did 5.15 tons of brush, cost us $146.79.
Are you backhauling any of that?
On steel.
Yeah, which one were you gonna start backhauling?
We
Was it
were gonna,
steel?
we were gonna, no, when we heard about this, we started backhauling steel.
Oh, okay.
But brush, we haven't had to backhaul brush lately because we're not hauling it.
Okay.
That can takes about a month to fill up in Montana City right now.
Yeah.
And plus, we don't wanna haul it because it's frozen. It takes, you have to get an excavator to get it out.
Pull it out of there.
Yeah, because the snow gets in there, it melts, and then it just all turns into a big blob. We did $520.69 with 8.91 tons of steel. That was before we heard about this, so now we're hauling it back. There might be a couple loads still go to them, but most of it will haul back. Sites monthly revenue for January, Whitehall did 1,036. Montana City did $1,687. Boulder did $835. Jefferson City did a whopping 30. Clancy did 214. Most of that was tires. Basin did 30. And the office did, not counting steel, just permits and solid waste that we're finding that people haven't been paying solid waste. 1,523.45.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, year to date, it's 39,066. And I don't know if I need to go over year to date on all the sites.
No, that's all right.
Yeah. We went down on trash because it was cold. Hardly anybody comes in. We only did hauled 275.34 tons. So I expect when it warms up, we're gonna get a big push.
Make up for it.
Yeah. Total refuge was 441.98 tons. Budget looks good. We're not really spending anything on that we can't and don't have to. I'm just keeping it tight. We do get fuel and I got it set up now. Cause they didn't have it and now they're gonna have it at Boulder Harbor. For our blowers and our weed eaters, buying it by the 5-gallon can.
Oh, the fuel,
Yeah, well, that's for for our weed eaters and blowers to blow out the snow and,
premix,
yeah, the premix.
gasoline.
So, yeah, I went here, cause buying it by a 5-gallon is like 3-gallon, only paying for 3 gallons instead of buying it by the gallon.
Yeah.
And then they didn't carry 5 gallons here, and then I went and talked to them and they're gonna bring it in for me. In fact, I gotta go pick it up.
Great.
And then, fuel additive, should be good for the winter right now, but we can go to Whitehall and get it when we have time to get it. Or have it delivered in the spring, but maybe by changing fuel, going over to the town pump. If we
Might not
go
have
there, we
problems.
might not have problems, I don't know. Some reason we're freezing up, in fact, we're trying to park our trucks in, like on Thursday night, we'll bring it inside the shop. Because every single morning we start the truck up, it starts and then it shuts down.
Filters get plugged up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's the condensation from when they turn off the truck, cause there's a heater in the fuel. Or if it's the fuel, we've kind of narrowed it down to those two items. And other than that, I just don't know what to do about it. And then, of course, when you're tearing things apart, you break things. And that's what happened
Right.
Thursday, the shop, you know, broke our pump. Which cost
Especially
us
when it's
like,
cold.
yeah, it cost me probably about $1,000. So. And then trucks and just minor repairs basically right now. And then I got one thing on this, one thing left, and it's an application for adjustment or cancellation. So I drove up there and looked at it, and you can look at it on Montana Cadastral if you like. There's no heat, there's no insulation, there's no water, there's no power, and I don't know why we didn't add it. It was done by, they're fighting it with Department of Revenue because they're considering it a house and it's not. It's on their property and it's probably about 200 yards from their house. They built it so that like when their grandkids come out, they go out and have a little campfire and the grandkids can stay in this little shack
Hmm.
in the summertime.
No toilets or?
No toilets, no water, no plumbing,
Oh, wow.
no heater in it,
Just a
no
roof over
insulation,
the
just
head.
just a thing with it. And I drove up there and I talked to them. And they took me out and I just went and looked at it. And I don't even know why we would even have solid waste on it, to be honest. I mean, it's not even a cabin, considered to be like a cabin.
Okay, do we have a motion on this one? You guys comfortable with the cancellation?
And I move to approve.
All right, we have a motion to cancel and a second on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, go ahead and cancel it off there, Mike.
All right, it's the only one I've ever approved to cancel.
Yeah. Well, if you go look at it, you're confident.
Yeah, I go look at them, so. So. That's all I got.
Was it you that was talking about going with Megan and getting a vehicle out of her, money? Was that you? Did you get a new truck or? Okay,
It's sitting over in Livingston right now. I think they haven't done the claim, and they're supposed to do a claim and get them paid, and then.
they did a claim because it was last week, I think. we
Was
were
it?
asking about
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't remember, 'cause
Oh, yeah.
it was.
It was,
through
it was through her,
the
junk vehicle program, cause she has to spend it
Yep.
so much, you know, if she gets up there, they'll start to lose it.
Right,
And we kind of take care of all of her fences out there. When the fences blow over, we go out and fix all the fences, and then we also plow the road going in, and we open the gate up and plow in there so she can bring in her junk vehicles.
yeah, no, that's great. I just saw that claim in there and I couldn't remember who that was going to. It was like a 1-ton truck or something.
Yeah, the 1-ton truck, and then there's supposed to be a flatbed. And after they get paid, they'll put the flatbed on, and the flatbed's about 7,000.
Okay,
And then we'll put a plow on it next year, cause I won't see it this year cause our plow truck has almost 160,000 miles on it. And then the Ford, you have to be gentle with it because the transmission's almost gone and they can't get a new transmission.
really?
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but Kyle told me you couldn't get a new transmission. I'd say go down and rebuild it, but.
Should be able to get a rebuild for it at
You
least.
think. But it'd be nice to, and then we can get the sander put on the new truck. So that, cause we're just wearing that GMC out.
Sure.
And it was a used truck when we got it in the first place.
Good, no, that's great.
So.
Yeah, we saw that claim and we were scratching our heads because I remember you mentioning it to me, but
Yeah,
that was a while ago.
yeah, we talked about it, Megan and I talked about it, so,
That's good. Good use of that money.
yeah. It'll help us out.
Anything else for Mike today? You guys got anything? Nothing about
think
the
so.
garbage?
We're
Doing a
good.
good job. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. We'll have to sit down and talk sometime about the
Rate increase.
rates, yeah.
What
we wanna-
process? Last time we did that, we went to each town in the county and had a meeting and kind of explained what we were trying to do and
Yeah,
their options, and it worked out really good. People were well informed.
I think we're gonna have to do something.
Yep, I think so too. We're running out of reserve money, so.
Oh, yeah, and we're still living off basically our 1996 rates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fuel.
How many more years do we have on our note for the Montana City? It's quite a few, isn't it?
It's
Like
quite a
10 years
few,
out or something?
it's at least 10 years. I think it's closer to 15 right
Is
now.
it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a 15 to start with, but
Was it a 15? I
I
thought it was
think so.
I thought it was a 20 to start.
I
I can't, she told me once, and it was like 3 years ago, and I can't remember.
Cause that was a permanent levy, wasn't it?
Oh, permanent, yeah. They raised it by $20. Almost to the penny to pay for it.
And the legislature planning to, hi Terry, trying to get it to where all voted levies are temporary, like 10 years or something.
Really?
Every one of them, yeah, can't go more than 10 years on a voted levy.
Oh.
That's a bill up there right now.
Maybe that's not a bad thing.
Gonna be tough for solid waste and fire departments and all those.
And it affects the
Yeah.
search and rescue and their mill levy because
It
it'll
would.
sunset.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All of them.
Huh. Inflation never goes down.
No.
It doesn't seem to.
Nope.
Thank you, Mike, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.